Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel where I build uh, apps live for your education and or pleasure. My name is Full Q Developer. Doing this for a few months now. Built a few apps on stream. Um, I built some open source stuff on stream. But recently we've been focusing on my Subway app, which is already in the App Store. Um, it's called Underway. And I suppose I could show the website real quick. Or I guess the app is loading itself too. You see, sort of tap on a map location on the MTA map, and yeah, you see when the train's coming is the basic idea. Um, More recently, um, we've been adding path stations to our app. Since the MTA map, we have a build failure. The MTA map does have. This is just a. Gotta refresh this. Since the MTA map does have path stations on it. It's loading now. Cool. Um, so we did a whole bunch of work. We did several refactorings to support path routes and path stations alongside the MTA stations. And I want to merge into trunk, my master branch, my main branch. Um, I don't want to enable the feature right away. I still want to do further testing. I'll need to get feedback from the designer on a few things. So I guess I have two options going forward um, for how to do this feature flag. Um, you can see here path arrivals are enabled. You can click on the path station, and after a moment, it loads from the path API, the public free one, which is not supported by path actually. Um, so you can turn off the path system, and you can see that it's still tappable. Um, but if we go to a different station that has path trains, we can see that they're properly disabled. Yeah, so everything's working except for the tapping. And yeah, that was kind of fascinating to realize because in the database, is this the function right here? Yeah, we just say, give me the locations that intersect a particular point. Um, and right now, there's no distinguishing from all the different types of spots in the database. Everything's just an MTA stop because that's how the app was created from day one to be MTA only. So yeah, this is it's kind of a big deal to add in a whole nother transit agency. Um, yeah, so there's two options to go forward. You can sort of, since there's only four, 9th Street, Christopher Street, and World Trade Center. I guess there's actually only three. There's three path stations that you don't want to allow taps on if path is disabled. So we could kind of manually block those out um, so that we can sort of get a move on. And lastly, um, the other option would be to associate each stop on the map with a transit agency. I guess 14th Street would be MTA only. This Christopher Street would be path only. And this 14th Street would be both. I'm leaning towards just blocking these out for now. Because this refactor, this could be kind of a very deep hole. We can explore this for a moment and take a look. What are our current changes? Nothing. We're totally clear at the moment. Yeah, I guess because we've made so many big changes, I don't want to make too many changes on trunk without merging this in. So that's one reason I want to sort of do something quick so that we can merge in and then do a more proper refactoring. It also means taking care of Android. So here's the spots that do intersection. So I guess this would be the map presenter. Like if we were to take option A, there's locate near where we'd have to enable, disable. And then when we do any tapping, we could do a check to see to make sure that only the right transit systems are included. Yeah, that's not very satisfying, is it? We'd be making changes all over the app that we just have to kind of go back on later. Whereas this, adding a transit system, this might be a big refactoring, but it would be more, I guess, mentally satisfying. Because how do I take it? Because just like we're doing an intersection based on which map it is, we could say transit systems something like that. And perhaps also on longitude, latitude. Just getting the ID directly, so that's fine. we're just following the compiler here for a little bit. Cool. So that'd be sort of the ground, kind of the ground up approach. I would want to update the signatures here. Let's see if we're building now. Not quite. Tell me which ones are missing. Oh, this one. Perfect. Now everything is, all the errors are outside of here. I guess this is sort of the interactor for the main map screen. This needs to know which are the currently available transit systems. Yeah, so perhaps this needs to listen in to notifications for when there's a change. Or the presenter could keep track of it. And then I suppose the presenter here, let's see, how do I keep track of other preferences? Um, so like when someone changes the position of the stock, this gets a callback so it knows to update it even before you get back to the screen. Is that what this guy is doing? Yeah, looks like this is doing some listening. I'm going to replicate this functionality for the currently active transit systems, I guess. so that when, well, does the presenter really need to know this? I might be going a little too far. Um, Perhaps this just does along on the interactor. Um, since the presenter doesn't really care yet about the currently active transit systems. If this is here, let's initialize it to the empty set for now. If this is here, then when the interactor goes ahead to find intersections, it can pass along the transit systems there. Oh, I guess, we need to guard let self here. Same here. And then updating that based on the preference and the feature flag, we can wait a touch for now. We need to guard self here as well. Does this need explicit self? I cannot wait to go to SwiftUI with some of this stuff. Viper got me quite far, but almost time for it to be over. Let's see. So this is the loading the location. um, yeah, so I guess this needs to know the currently active transit systems, and I guess that means I need a preference for it. I guess I'm breaking Viper a little bit here. You can see I'm reaching out to single directly. Let's see, do I have a setting storage for transit systems? Okay, well let's get this to build for now. And this is the same thing. And here we also kind of reach out to single directly as well. Naughty, naughty. Oh, I guess I should put like a subheadline adding path trains to my subway. Subway, previously subway only. We can give this a little bit of a, it's a little too big. People can follow along that haven't been here the past few days. Then I guess the setting storage, this should know about the feature flag as well, right? Oh, are we assuming empty set means I guess I'm not exactly using this right now. This is actually this is actually the default. And then also you want to check the current environment for this feature flag. Current is path enabled. Env has no member current. Oh, because this is deep down in core code. Env lives in the app, not in the shared library. Um, wow. Why watch your favorite streamer lose in PvP when you can watch me lose to my own ideas? Uh, oh man. Um, if I comment out the default, it's used only when we are computing. So what if we what if we move that as an extension to as a private extension here in the settings storage? You're not supposed to throw this error now, Mr. Compiler. Uh, m.current. I know I used this before. Here we are in our single, which has all the services for the app. Here we pass in the current of interesting. Okay. I guess when we initialize the user settings, we can pass in the current environment and they can make decisions based on that. Doesn't exactly feel that great though. And so then where is the build failure? That right, so then this becomes instead of the default being on transit system, I guess we move it into user default setting storage. Um, that doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good because we're tying the environment to something that's in a shared library. Um, However, the defaults are in fact based on the current environment. We're going to do this feature flag, right? So that's that is a little tricky, huh? Um, did this have access to env, just not env current? Okay, so this is access to the type. Um, although once this gets, is this going to get compiled to the server? No, this is okay. So this is shared code for front-end apps. Okay, so this is fine. I think it's going to be something like this. So then the transit system in the shared library for all the front-end apps, widgets, etc., um, will be able to provide a default for a given environment. So we can turn it off based on the feature flag. And here in settings storage, here we can say env.current, right? It still does not have access to it. Fascinating. I do want to rename this to env instead of current. Current is just a little ambiguous. It feels weird to initialize my setting storage with the current environment. I guess because how I have this factored, um, only the, and this, and again, this is only to, this is just to get a default for a feature flag. Um, yeah, feature flags sometimes make us do kind of weird, weird things. Here in single, do we have m.current? We do. Is this satisfying? Let's see, I guess I initialized my in-app purchase service with the current environment. I guess I have precedent for this approach. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I guess that is fine. Pass in the environment into a service. Like I said, I do it over here with my in-app purchase service. However, the only place I'm using it is to get a default. And if we're just talking about defaults, and it's with a feature flag, like, wouldn't it just be fine to just default to just the subways as a default for now? Yeah, I think so. Uh, that's programming, around and around, and you end up where you started sometimes. But you pick up a little information along the way. Okay, so we were talking about the how are we going to disable these taps? We're going to add a field on each location for the transit system that it's associated with, and then we were going to say that the map interactor, it might save a copy of the current one, but I guess for now we can reach out to the settings storage to grab it. This will be, what's it called? Was it transit system settings? Yeah, transit system settings storage. And this might be called current transit systems. Cool. So then we did a build, we got an error saying we need to pass in the settings storage when we initialize this string. Yes, that's true. So now let's put a breakpoint in let's see, we're somewhere where we are using this. Come on, Xcode. Let's see what we are getting. So Command R to run in the app. Taking its sweet time loading the stack. Oh, Xcode. I mean, I'm pretty sure it came through. It's just kind of nice to see. Xcode's being a little slow. So I guess we could continue down the line while it's recovering. tired out, I guess. I guess what we need to do then is add this field. I guess this is it's a last item we can do. Oh, now now I remember. This is where we got stuck last time. Um, UX code. Um, yeah, so if we say, given our choice of currently enabled transit systems, and we tap somewhere, what do we intersect? Um, I guess the map tappable needs to know which transit systems it's associated with. Um, and I guess we can filter for it. I guess this is a is this a many to many then? Um, Xcode's having a tough time still. Let's look at our database. This is the table that that it's intersecting on, and I guess you can see that it's slightly different. Um, for map location, say 108, there's one for the standard map, and there's one for the night map, um, and there's slightly different positions. Um, I guess we need perhaps a new table for tappables to transit system. And maybe that looks like column name might be tappable ID. Yeah, just int, and then another column. We add a column in this game, new column. This might be transit system. Be a text, not nullable, not nullable. Such column ID. No primary key, I guess. Make a table without an ID column. I've done this before. Oh, there we go. If this was our schema, then what would our SQL be? Um, These are map points. Let's just something in there. The map might be map, and then we want to also, I guess, join, right? Join. What did we call it? Join that way, and when we do filtering, we can say something like that, I guess. No such column, map tappables. Oh, well, which makes sense because there's there's nothing here. Um, so let's see. Let's put in some test data, I guess. This is between 228 and 133. One standard. Okay. 130. Oh, these don't have IDs, do they? Just based on the map location ID. So should the join be with map locations instead of to map tappables? I guess that would mean rewriting our table here. I guess for now they're still called MTA map locations. And I'm thinking I'm getting close to possibly removing that struct. I'm not exactly sure which way to go yet. There are no such table. Did I not? Oh, I didn't change the name of this. ambiguous column name, but they should be the same. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Oh wow, I've been missing a lot of chat. Bruce Leaf says your ideas are just too powerful. Oh wow, I missed a ton of chat. Bruce Leaf says, could env have a singleton for the current live environment? Like static for our live env equals, do you have a current env? Oh, okay. You do have a current env, yes. Bruce Leaf also says, I think it makes sense to pass in the env into services feature factory. Yes. New York official says hello. Hey, welcome to the channel. Bruce Leaf says, well, it's fine. Yeah, I had chat open, but I needed to hit refresh on it, and I saw all your fine thoughts. Thanks for your support. Oh, man. Okay, so we have a no such column on map tappables. Cool. So this is currently compiling. Yeah, so let's add in a row here, a one, it's part of NYCT. Cool, and we got it. And if we say path, it excludes it. Perfect. And if we use the in notation, because we can pass in a set, presumably. Um, uh, what is that emo? It looks like one of mine, but there's a little bit of a eyeglasses on it. So I think this approach could work actually. Bruce Lee says, well, it's ACK, but full ACK. Oh, yeah, I was doing a lot of Swift UI at the beginning of my streaming career. I had a V stack and H stack and Z stack emotes. Yeah, so I think this approach could work. What changes do we need to make? Guess we need to yeah, add the transit field, update the SQL to include transit systems. Oh, and I guess we can also show, yeah, it still comes through no matter how many other items we put through here. As soon as we take off NYCT, it disappears. Perfect. And Xcode still has not found that stack frame. Glad we stopped waiting for it. You do you, Xcode. Don't let anybody stop you. Wait, I think Xcode has completely crashed now. Oh no, it finished running. Okay, are we alive? We're alive. Yeah, so I guess this intersection SQL, it's I guess it's raw SQL, which is going to make this bit here a little difficult. So I'm kind of tempted to use the DSL, GRDB domain specific language. Um, let's see what that might look like. Um, row.fetch cursor statement. So this would be tappable. Oh, is map tappable not a fetchable table? Add some some protocol conformance, and the table name is tappable. And I suppose we'll have to define this thing as well. What's your problem? Does not conform to fetchable record? Wants to init from a row? No, no, no. It's because this is not codable. Oh yeah, because I did some pretty custom stuff on this. Yes, we know. Yeah, I see you there. Getting free conformance to codable. I'm not sure I believe you, dude. Um, oh, right, because yeah, I guess I'm not loading the entire map tappable. If you look at SQL here, I just want the area type and the area JSON, and then I'm using the map location to join. Uh, whereas map tappable, it also has a few other things on here. Yeah, so I don't I don't want to do this. So I guess in GRDB, when you don't want to load the entire object, you make a kind of a temporary, not temporary, a smaller one. Um, Instead of extending and adding protocol conformance, yeah, we can do this. We can do this ourselves. We're only reading, so we just have to do the init part of it here. And I guess this belongs in its own file. Or at least at the bottom of this one. Yeah, I guess I'm creating a map tappable out of a string of JSON and the area type. Maybe I yeah, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, I don't want to make it codable. But I can copy this part here. And delegate to self.init. Let's be declared public. Sure thing. No problem. Errors thrown from here are not handled. Yeah, so we're not allowed to throw from knitting from a row. Okay. Is this okay? I mean, hopefully I catch everything myself before something ships. Um, this is a little spicy. I guess as you saw over here, I do allow myself to catch here. Man, trying to meld like an explicit SQL query with a DSL one is not working out so well. What if we update this and like append um, that last little bit from our SQL query? Like we can append this part kind of manually, like a a random number of question marks at the end. That feels bad also. I mean, it'd be something like SQL plus however many question marks we have, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many places to tap on the map. It'd be kind of impossible to check that each one is tappable. I guess I could write a script to do that, to go through and catch each one. Um, okay, well, so we have an option here to do some funky stuff with custom SQL. We have an option to, as we were saying over here, just assume that the data has no mistakes in it, and that we will assert that by other means, by writing a test to make sure that all of them can initialize. Um, Actually, thinking through it, that test wouldn't be that hard. At first thought, I was thinking, oh, we've got to like tap on each spot on the map. And we could do that with like a UI test, but it's really making sure that each one can initialize. Each one can decode properly from the database. And that's as easy as select star. So maybe that's doable. So let's add a little note here. Write a test to confirm that these decode to ensure no crashes on live. Certain things I'm okay with, like especially like registering a table cell with a table view. Just cast that cell like we know what it is. It's kind of workaround for UI kit. And it's kind of the same thing here, where we know the types that we're dealing with. Converting an untyped or a differently typed system, such as an SQLite database, into Swift. Yeah, there's going to be some rough edges, some forced uh, ignoring of errors. For where it is, uh, it's kind of scary. But also for what it is, we can actually give ourselves complete confidence that we're not going to break anything. Okay. With that said, going back to here, let's try to write this query again using the DSL. Map tappable filter. And I suppose I'll kind of need to copy paste this in. I can see them next to each other. And I guess we don't have because we didn't implement codable on this, we don't really have our columns here. And I don't remember how to do mean in GRDB. Let's go ahead and check the documentation. Really seeing what I'm looking for here. I guess we can search Can we do all caps between? Somewhere in his generated SQL, there's got to be a between, right? Or he just he just doesn't have it. Uh, I guess that would push us back towards that would push us back towards handwritten SQL. Um, I'm kind of surprised that there's no between here. GRDB between SQL. Maybe let's check the issues. No mention of between. Well, I think we can write an SQL expression. But then we're not taking advantage of interpolation, are we? He wants me to say literal, I guess. Let's see. I guess we could do it instead of looking for a between, we could do less than and greater than. Yeah, so that compiles. We could do the same thing with the Y columns. Okay, so instead of an explicit between, we kind of have this verbose between, I guess. And then we have the join to do. Um, so to do the join, we need to define a structure to represent it, and also, actually create it in our database. So since we're kind of here in code, let's go in that direction. Map locations to transit system. Fetchable record, table record. Um, Actually, we don't fetch these, right? We're just using this as a join. Um, I think we can make a I guess it's not exactly a one-to-many join, huh? Um, we write belongs to on this game. Destination. So this is going to be name application dot database table name. Um, and what else this belongs to take? Yeah, we can define a foreign key and a key. Yeah, man. Sometimes using a DSL doesn't feel worth it. Um, it's like a lot of setup. On the other hand, using manual SQL on like appending strings, that felt really gross also. Um, let's hold off on writing the join part. Um, oh, then it requires an association to do it. So, how do we want to do this? You there? Um, so perhaps we make a transit systems association. It has many. Property cannot be declared public because its type isn't. Okay, this needs to be public as well. Worries. Using a foreign key. Um, as you can tell, I'm having a tough time committing to the DSL. And when I tried out the manual SQL version, I had a hard time committing to that. Both of them feel bad in different ways. Um, Both of them feel bad in different ways, yes. This one feels bad because I guess we're going to make a foreign key now. Uh, Setting this stuff up on a new app is fine. um, this is supposed to be a column. Doing this on an app that's this old, I guess there's some rough edges. What does foreign key take? Margin columns. Oh, it's just strings. Okay, and it's an array of them. Feels gross. Feels gross. Okay, let's try a manual approach again. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Is string manipulation going to feel better? Um, so this will comment that out, and we'll say SQL equals SQL head plus SQL tail, and in between, say transit systems dot map. We'll get the raw value of it, and we'll join those with a comma and a space. And actually, this will need single quotes around it, right? Oh, well, actually, this is just the question marks for the internal part. They just map to a question mark, I guess. Um, then the statement arguments, uh, transit systems to array. Maybe here is where we convert them to strings. Is that too many close parens, or is that just the right amount? Let's exceed it. Let's see, how gross does this feel? This is like, this reminds me of like back in the day writing Java server pages where you're sometimes appending like HTML strings together. Um, that never felt quite that great. Let's see, what I like about this is that we're not getting lost in DSL land. Um, what I don't like about it is, I mean, appending a variable number of question marks never quite feels good, I guess. Like, I wonder if there's a different way we could templatize this. I mean, I kind of started to do a little bit of that here. We're given a map point and return back an array of arguments. I guess this could take the transit systems as well. I guess cleans up this part a little bit. It will be nice. Oh, and here's the other usage of it. I guess, hmm. So let's see. I think we could run this. We have one stop that we put in manually. We haven't regenerated the database. I think we can tap on Van Cortlandt Park to show that this is working. We hit our breakpoint. Is Xcode going to choke again? Maybe I should put a breakpoint here to see what the SQL looked like. Xcode's never going to recover from this tragedy. Next code, I know you can do it. Okay, let's try again. Command R. Tap on Van Cortlandt Park. Come on, unwind that stack, Xcode. Let's see what the debugger has. Xcode, please, we're all counting on you. Maybe let's just print it. Dot. I think as soon as I hit Command Dot, I see it like flash. So it's like, you just wait long enough, but then next time around, it waited forever also. Looks like it didn't find anything. Um, What's the name of the table? Applications to transit system. Yes. I bet that the transit systems was the empty list or something. Um, Frontline debugging works, but uh, actual debugging does not at the moment. Turn off path. Yeah, so I guess yeah, I guess the preference for how we're managing the enabled transit systems is a little off. See, let's go to that cell. Transit system settings. Settings storage. Here we go. I guess here maybe we want to guard if it's the empty set to put in the default, I guess. But we don't want people to accidentally like disable everything. Um, think this already is set. We end up setting the default for that. Problem. Extraneous top level. Okay. So now let's clear the console. See what we're getting when we hit the database. Yeah, it seems to be just setting path instead of like everything together. Let's go ahead and look at where that cell is in settings, screens, meta, about screen, settings screen, settings cell. Here we go. I use default here or be explicit about it? Just toggle it to kind of reset it. There we go. Got the correct number of question marks, correct number of. There we go. And we got, and the tab works. So now we're able to filter the, not completely, but we did sort of a canary to sort of test out this design direction if we like it or not. Yes, we can filter based on active transit systems for map locations. Ooh. So what's next? I guess we kind of I mean, I wish there was a way to give myself credit for these tasks. We we spiked it out. We did like a canary. We are like, yes, we kind of like this direction. Now we need to do it for like all stops. Insert transit system entries for all locations into database. Update static database schema. Okay, so I guess I guess we're back. It's updating our static data. And let's head on over there. It's on this screen. So I guess at the bottom here, we can say how can I get an export of this? Export just the table structure. I can't just copy paste it. Okay, on the desktop it goes. Here it is. Yes, you can do multi-line or raw values of an enumeration. I guess we can match the spacing of the other items. Cool. So it compiled, except for now we need to tell our database generation script what to put in there. Bruce Leaf says, could you do a code review of my project fork sometime? It doesn't need to be right this second. Whenever you have time or want to know if I need to throw some bits at you, I just want someone to look through the code and potentially use it in a sample project. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, not right this second. I want to finish this task up first. That'd be a lot of fun. Uh, for those who are curious what that link was, I believe um, is this one right here. It's a little library for running async functions together. So another time, but not right now. Thanks for asking. That'll be fun to do. Right. So we added a schema. So the insert switches on the schema to insert some stuff. Application state transit system. So then we can have a little bit of a helper to insert that. And what do these usually take? Just a good old insert function. And here we will say there we go. And then we can go ahead and implement that. So for this, we have it one I guess all the current locations are subway locations except for the three new ones that are path only. And then there's the other three new ones that are mixed, path and subway. Um, I guess what we want to do is kind of for all the map locations, um, insert some stuff into the database. Um, and I think, have I done something like that where I do a select for the current map locations? Let's see what's going on in here. Like all this is kind of correctly inserted. That must have been a long time ago when I did that. Okay. Well, these IDs are pretty stable. Um, let's see. db dot SQL. So we can just select the ID from the map locations table. And that's an integer, actually. Then we can loop through those IDs and insert into the database. And how am I doing inserts here? db.execute. Sure. Insert into values. I guess there's two values. Then do I pass in arguments? Yes. Arguments are first the ID, and then NYCT, I think. I guess here we can have a kind of a hard-coded list of path IDs. We can take a look at which ones those are. Okay, map locations. Look at the data all the way at the bottom. Go further. Do a reverse sort on the ID. 499, 500, and 501. Mixed path and station IDs. This I think I have somewhere else. Might be in here. I think I put it somewhere near here. Yeah, here we go. 262, 263, and 264. So I guess we want to check that this doesn't contain to skip over those last few. This should get graduated out. Yeah, maybe that. These are the subway stops, and then we'll do the path stops. Oh, it's because it's word wrapping, I guess. Something like that, I suppose. The first will fetch all of the map IDs, all of the map location IDs. We'll iterate through them. And if they're not the path only ones, then we'll insert into our new table that they are in fact part of NYCT. And then after that, we'll combine the two lists of path stations together and insert those as well. the problem here? Missing parameter. Oh, I need to add in the database there. Not convert. Oh, this yeah, so I guess I can convert these integers into application IDs. Alias curly braces. Okay. I don't believe you. Let's match up. Let's match up. Something's not right here. Oh, maybe it is right. Okay, where is the build failure? Oh, I guess all of these I have like a little bit of a different name on the end to make it easier to differentiate. Otherwise, the compiler gets confused with two things needing the same name. Okay. Um, let's run it, I guess. And then once we regenerate, the database, we can go ahead and run the app, and all the stations should work. Such table MTA applications. Oh, did I look at that? Table name. One more time. Yay. Let's head back over to the iOS app. And then we disable path. Wait, why did it just turn back on? Oh, what's going on there? Whoa. 50Y, please. Okay, so I guess we are fixing that. Um, close other tabs. And what if this is messing something up? Because it's equatable, I wonder if it's just simply a little bit of adjusting is freaking it out. Okay, so that's not it. Um, Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's a set. So this contains whoa. What what are you doing, SwiftUI? I guess I had a not. It was not empty. I didn't mean to say not contains path. So that was a little bit of my error. We toggle enabled. On change enabled. If it's enabled, then add path. If it's disabled, set it to be just NYCT. Oh, and then we're doing it over here. Okay. Um, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if path is off, we try to click on Christopher Street, we get no match. We can click on the other stations. We can turn path back on, and we can click on Christopher Street, the path station. Look at that. Look at that. You can check off all these things. Oh yeah. Feels good. Like, yes, we're only exposing uh, one new transit system. So to the user, it's just on or off at this point in time. Uh, but our settings are set up to be expandable for LIRR, Metro North, New Jersey Transit. Those are on our radar to maybe add in the far future. Um, no promises, of course. Uh, just flashing back, I'm doing this publicly, and I can't have to manage expectations. Um, okay, so let's clean up these print statements here. And we ended up not going with any of this stuff. We didn't do any as many stuff. We ended up using our own handwritten SQL, so we didn't actually need um, any new models. And I guess we can test the feature flag too. Um, can say for alpha it's not enabled, and if we run this, uh, we shouldn't see it in the settings, and we shouldn't be able to click on it on the map. Wait a second. Well, we can't see it here, so it's somewhat working. I guess that means that our settings, um, this file here, this needs this needs to know the uh, if path is enabled or not. There we go. We successfully went with option B here, kind of the longer winded one, but actually not that long. That was about 2 hour project. Um, where every station now has an associated transit system with it, so we can tell whether or not it should be applicable or not. I'll turn it back on for alpha. Oops, that was the wrong flag. Turn it back on for alpha. It's on. Tap on Christopher Street and turn path system completely off. Because, for example, we don't ever use the path. Don't ever wanted to get a stray click there. Glorious, 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 glorious. Ooh. So let's commit some stuff. Yeah, the default is always going to be just NYCT for now. I'm not sure if when we launch we want to default the path turning on so people get the message. Please put some claps in the chat. Thanks so much. Oh, I guess there might be other places. There was without looking at this diff, there might be a few other places that need to be updated. Um, with this SQL. Yeah, I guess this part right here. Um, looks like it's doing the exact same thing. It's just what's it doing differently? Oh, this is loading the whole location, whereas this one's just getting the location ID. Um, see, I'm supposed to be stopping my stream right now. I think I can do this real quick. It's going to have the same signature, but it's going to take uh, an open database connection. So then this part here, delegates. I think it's just a curly brace problem. Yeah. And then the other public function also uses that, and then it asks for the map location here. This is internal though, so who's actually calling this? It's like nobody's calling that. Maybe I can just delete it. Let's search the whole. Oh, I use it for testing. Okay. Use it in test. So yes, let's go ahead and update that as well. Otherwise, return nil. Failure. Clock and throw. Sure. Succeeded. Cool. And yeah, I guess next time we'll do the other usages like locate me feature also needs to know your currently active transit systems, not locate you at the wrong kind of stop. Let's go ahead and commit all this. Transit system. Going to applications, and we implemented it on mapping on map. Takes into active or enabled, I guess, transit systems. Ooh. Hit and push. Ooh, that wasn't so bad. That was about 2 hours to added the transit system table, which was one to many. We updated the SQL. We updated the schema for our static data. uh, here. We tried out using the GRDB DSL. It got a little gnarly, so we ended up just going with we did our own sort of in-house, not in-house, by hand SQL. We could put the appropriate number of question marks for the currently active transit systems. And we tested manually an app where we can completely disable path by the feature flag or by the in-app setting when people are ready to disable path. If they don't use path, it doesn't get in the way. Is an important feature for us. I feel like our simplicity is one of the things that really attracts people to our app, and we definitely want to keep that simplicity. We definitely want to allow people to focus on just the transit systems they're interested in. We have continued success going forward. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's so much fun sharing my creative pursuits with you all. This is available for download on the App Store. You search for Underway NYC. Also available on Android, which as we get our database settled with the new schema, we will be doing this on Android as well. Bruce Lee said, thanks, have a nice day. You too. I stream every weekday starting 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And below is my website, fullqdeveloper.com, which has links to my YouTube, which has past episodes, my Discord to stay in touch, Twitter for stream updates, and my Ko-Fi if you want to support directly as well. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or night wherever you are.